Yep. Well, these lights are staying on tonight. So Lights Out is a movie that came out about a month ago. I know I'm really late to the party on this one. I actually shot this a while back, but the video file was corrupted when I went to edit it, so I had to reshoot it, and I just didn't have time to set up all my stuff again. So here I am, over a month after the movie's already come out. I know this video is way irrelevant, but hey, I wanted to get my review of this movie out there. But anyways, this movie came out at the end of July. It's produced by James Wan, but not directed by him. The movie's actually based on a short film that came out on YouTube a couple years ago. And the short film is essentially what you saw in the trailer for this movie. When the lights go out, there's an entity haunting the room. When the lights are on, it's not there. It's a simple concept. I actually didn't see the short film when it first came out. I didn't see it until I had heard about this movie. But when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was just like, dude, I'm there. And I gotta say, the first half hour of this movie kind of underwhelmed me. It's essentially what you saw in the trailer. There's this guy, he's in a mannequin shop, he's flickering the lights up and down, trying to figure out where this demon is. He runs into his office, grabs a baseball bat, and gets totally wrecked by this demon. And then it cuts to this family, and I'm just like, is it just gonna be a bunch of little short sections of different families getting terrorized? I already saw that. It was in the short film. And so I was a little nervous about that, but once this movie got going, it got going. Now what's so cool about this movie is that not only was the cast great, but the characters that they were playing were really well written. Teresa Palmer was great, Maria Bello was great, the little kid was also really good. And what's cool about it is it kind of reminded me of The Babadook. Have you guys seen The Babadook? Babadook is a horror movie, but it also deals with stuff like depression, and it's more or less just a family drama with a demon thrown into the mix. This movie's kind of the same thing. There's this family that's all out of the whack, and there's a demon terrorizing them at the same time. And this demon is feeding into a couple of the issues that the family is having. For example, Teresa Palmer moved out a couple years ago. She hasn't talked to her mom at all. And the demon is mainly terrorizing the little boy who is Teresa Palmer's little brother. So they're trying to figure out who is the best person to take care of this kid. Is the mom stable enough to do that? And I thought all of that was really cool. One character that I do gotta highlight though is Teresa Palmer's boyfriend in the movie. Usually boyfriend or girlfriend characters in horror movies, it's kind of just you're waiting for them to die, like, oh, he's gonna die there. Oh, nope, he's right there. Ah, there we go. And for this guy's first couple scenes, I was thinking, all right, well, this guy's not lasting until the end of the movie. And without spoiling whether or not this guy does make it to the end of the movie, this guy, he added a lot of levity to the movie, but he was also, when he had to be serious, he could get serious. And he worked well with everyone else in the movie. Teresa Palmer, the kid, her mom. There's this one scene in particular where he does something, it's just like a little action he does, and it's pretty funny. And so it gives you a second to breathe before you get completely sucked back into the movie. But it's not annoying to where you're just waiting for the guy to leave. No, it's not, it doesn't detract from the movie. It just gives you a second before everything goes down near the end of the movie. And so he's leaps and bounds better than most any other boyfriend or girlfriend characters that you're gonna find in horror movies. And that's just what makes this movie so great. It's the characters. You know how sometimes in horror movies, you're watching it and you're watching them do really stupid stuff on the screen and you're just like, why are you doing that? That happens like once or twice in this movie, but you can still kind of understand why the characters are doing what they're doing. No one feels like they did something just because the script calls for them to die soon. And the way this movie is shot is really cool too. There's a couple scenes where the character will be standing in a light room, but they'll be looking into a dark room, and the demon will just be standing there in that room. Or sometimes they'll be in a room where like part of the room's lit and part of it's not, and so the character will be in the lit part of the room, and the demon will be behind them in the part of the room that's not actually lit. And then there's some parts where someone will walk into a room and then they'll just freeze because they can see the demon standing there in the shadowy corners of the room. And that's pretty effective, because when I got home from this movie, there was a couple times I was standing in a room that had light, but I'd be looking into a dark room, and in my mind I was just visualizing the demon from this movie being there. And when your mind starts to think like that, that means that the movie stuck with you and the movie did its job. I do have a couple issues with this movie. The first is that it does take a little while to get going. Like the first half of this movie is kind of just jump scare, repeat, and just a rinse and repeat pattern from there. But once you find out more about the family and the connection that the demon has with this family, that's when the movie really starts to pick up. And there's one scene in this movie, while I don't mind the scene itself, the scene is clearly just there because it's like, hey, we gotta dump all this information on you at this point, so just here you go, information. It just feels like such a heavy exposition scene. And I like the stuff that we learned in that scene, but I just feel like that stuff could have been spread out throughout, a couple different scenes. Like if I was grading just that one scene, I'd say it's probably like a 6 out of 10 scene when it could have been a 10 out of 10 scene. But seriously though, the last half hour of this movie is non-stop suspense. The end of this movie had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. It's what I wanted out of this movie, and I got little glimmers and bits of it here and there, but the ending is really where it all just came together. Lights Out is one of those movies that I could picture myself watching pretty much every Halloween. It's gonna be natural to compare this to The Conjuring 2 and even Don't Breathe now that that's out in theaters. It's hard to compare them because they're all very different movies. They all deal with different haunts, and Don't Breathe actually doesn't even have any haunting, it's just a regular guy. I would say of those three, Don't Breathe was my favorite, followed by Lights Out and then Conjuring 2. But Conjuring 2 might be a slightly better made movie than Lights Out is. Like Lights Out has really intense scares in small doses, while The Conjuring 2 has more scares that are spread out throughout the movie. I just found the scares in Lights Out to be a little more intense than the ones in Conjuring. So Lights Out definitely did not disappoint me. I don't know if it's still playing in theaters, but if it is, check it out. But keep the lights on when you get home because, yeah. So did you guys see Lights Out? Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. And with this video, I think I'm officially caught up on everything I wanted to do this summer. And yeah, I got other reviews coming soon for new things. Star Wars Rebels Season 3 is hitting soon. I finally finished Season 2. I'm gonna have a review for that up soon. One review I'm kind of debating doing is The Killing Joke because it did come out like a month ago. And I've got some thoughts on that, but I feel like it would just be the same thoughts that everyone else has. So I don't know, would you guys want to see a Killing Joke video? Should I... Comment down below, let me know if you want to see a Killing Joke video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, click subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys next time.